Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with Real America. So my next guest is an author and a board member of Black Voices for Trump. And he's one heck of a nice guy with an opinion, which is probably why I like him so much. David Harris Jr. joining the show to talk about all this craziness that's going on this week. Hello, David. How are you, sir?
Dan, I'm good, my brother. Thank you so much for having me on today.
Hey, I appreciate any time you can come on the show. I know you're a busy, busy man. Where do we begin? I guess let's start with the biggest and most pressing news that everybody's talking about, well, except the mainstream media, and that would be the Biden cover-up of his connections to China, Russia, Ukraine, all thanks to his screw-up of a son and him being, let's face it, one greedy bastard. Because I'm reading the emails that OAN has obtained, and I'm looking at them going, looks like daddy set up son with these companies so daddy could rake in some cash. I don't know how much of the emails you've seen, your feelings on this whole thing that the mainstream media won't even touch.
Well, just the fact that the mainstream media won't touch it should tell you something. If you're not awake yet to understand that 90% of the mainstream media has a liberal bias bent, they've been all about attacking this president. They've blamed him. The Democrats in Congress have blamed him for now what is obvious that Joe Biden actually did, quid pro quo. The fact that they're not covering it means that, to me, it means it must be true. So I can't wait for the emails to completely come to full light for everybody to see. But the fact that this man, Hunter Biden, and his father is running to become the president of the United States of America, and Hunter would have access to the White House if he was to get in the Oval Office, should scare the heck out of every single American and say, you know, obviously there's a whole lot of corruption here that's being uncovered. And it didn't have anything to do with Donald Trump. It had everything to do with Joe Biden and his quid pro quo deals through his son, which has been a family business. He's a family business guy. He'll do quid pro quo through, I think he's done it through his brother. He's done it through other family members. But this is just coming full circle through Hunter and his addictions and forgetting to pick up some laptops. Thank God he did.
Yeah, no kidding. Let's talk about Joe going into hiding. Why would you, I wonder, let me think, say I'm doing no press, no campaigning for 4 days while I get ready for the final debate when you're 14 days out, 15 days out from a major election, the biggest of your life, and you go into hiding. And you don't come out and denounce and say point blank, all these accusations are false, and here is why, and give examples why. You just simply go, I'm not going to play the president's game. These are all false, and I'm going to go hide for 4 days.
Yeah, he's got nothing to say. I mean, he already has a tough enough time trying to finish one sentence. You know, he has to use a teleprompter, and anytime he goes off that teleprompter, he gets, you know, discombobulated. He doesn't know what to say. And now, you know, I don't think he wants to perjure himself either, because he's at one point already said that he never had discussions with Hunter over his foreign business deals. Now it's coming out that he actually did. So I think he doesn't want to get on camera because he doesn't want to perjure himself. I think the truth is going to come out, and I think he's doing the only thing that he knows how to do, hide in his basement where it's safe. He needs his safe space. It's one thing that liberals continually say that they need is safe spaces. Well, now we've got the leading Democrat for the presidential ticket that is all about his safe space right now.
That leads into my next thing, because I just want to keep going off. I'm sorry, I sound like a broken record. I know, folks, but I love going off on those folks in a industry that I've been in for 22 years that I have loved to do, but I watch and am disgusted every single day. I now watch CNN and the big three and MSNBC all push a narrative that this is all Russia propaganda. Even after the director of intelligence comes out, Radcliffe, and says, no, that's not the case. They're still pushing it. I just saw CNN a few minutes ago say something about Fox pushing a false narrative about this whole scandal with Hunter Biden. Nonsense, total BS. And then I don't know, David, if you heard, but Project Veritas dropped that really damaging video about Google and how they are changing the searches. But what I found interesting is, and you just said about safe spaces, that Google engineer said when President Trump won in 2016, did you hear what Google did? They actually set up safe spaces and let people go home and cry in the hallways with like counselors.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that back then. And the fact that big tech is in this fight, too, is just crazy, Dan. But they need their safe spaces. They need a place to cry, and they're going to need one in another 14 days.
I don't know where you've worked in your life, David. You're probably 40, 50 years old like me. Did you ever have a place where oh, I'm so upset this governor got elected, this president, that congressman. I need the day off of work. I need to go cry in the corner. Have you ever heard such nonsense?
No, I have never heard such nonsense. I don't know about you. Yeah, I'm 45.
Same age.
But in all my 45 years on this earth, Dan, I've never felt like I needed a safe space based on any political decisions that were made, based on any decisions that were made around me outside of my family. The only thing that'll bring me to tears is if something drastic or tragic happens in my own family, and I think anybody can feel the same way about that. But as far as the external stuff, I mean, what happened to sticks and stones?
Right.
Can break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Yeah, we're not allowed
I think
to say that
most
anymore.
of us learned that in kindergarten.
Yeah, they don't,
I guess
they don't
not
teach
either,
that
right?
anymore.
Now it's sexist or something.
Yeah, they don't teach that.
They
They don't teach that anymore. Let's talk about censoring. Have you, sir, been censored by Twitter or Instagram or Facebook with any of your posts? And if so, what were they related to?
They've been continually messing with me for a couple of years. May of last year till May of this year, they diminished my reach by about 90 to 95%. I was organically reaching 2 to 3 million people a day, and then it dropped overnight to where I could barely reach 100,000 people a day.
Wow.
And we push out 25 to 30 articles a day on davidharrisjr.com and djhjmedia.com, trying to give the people an alternative news source from the mainstream media, liberal bias bent news that's out there. They've tapered it off quite a bit. They've given me most of my reach back, but they still use those fact checkers. It's interesting to me that they will, Facebook uses fact checkers to then determine what's false or misleading in your content, but they don't provide any proof. It's just their narrative. So They've hit a lot of my friends. They diminished some of my posts. They've taken down certain posts that had to do with trying to bring clarity to COVID-19. And
right.
I posted a picture of a mask, a box of ear loop masks. And on the side of the box itself, it said, "This will not prevent you from getting COVID-19.
Right.
And they hit me with a fake news strike for that, saying it was misleading information. Like, I posted a picture of a box. So the battle with big tech censorship is real. And unfortunately, I think it's only going to get worse until they do something about CDA 230.
Yep, let's hope that Congress takes action. We see the DOJ doing it a little bit right now with Google. We'll see what happens with the FEC and the FCC going after the social media ones too. David, they're giving me the rap. You know how that goes. You do this all the time. Man, we could go forever. Stay safe out there. I know you get plenty of hate your way. We appreciate you.
I appreciate you. And just one more plug, davidharrisjr.store. Get your Trump 2020 flag. You never know when this is going to need it. It's going to come in handy, but davidharrisjr.store, you can pick those up.
Yeah, I love seeing those videos, David. Folks, if you don't know, go look at his videos, especially when he gets on airplanes. It's the best. You got the hat and you whip out the sign, and most people like it, but some people freak out. David, stay safe. Thank you, brother, for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. Anytime.
Yep, take care. All right, don't go away, folks. After the break, we're going to introduce you to 2 Trump supporters who were violently attacked this past weekend. Isabella DeLuca and Philip Anderson join Real America to tell their stories. Don't go away.